Hey, so quick disclosure for the video, there's going to be some spoilers for locations and vibes in here. Also, I was sent a press copy of this game by the developer, for which I'm darn thankful. I'm also mid-hay fever, hence my voice being I might also mispronounce a lot of things, and for that, I apologise. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So what is Umurangi Generation? To paraphrase the Steam store page, it's a photography game that takes place in the shitty future, namely in the city of Taronga in New Zealand. You play as a courier for the Taronga Express, tasked with completing photo bounties, which you complete to unlock new areas and new gear. Alongside these objectives, you've also got bonus objectives, which, if you manage to complete all of these within the time limit, you'll unlock even more equipment and tools. Now, I don't enjoy elevator pitch style comparisons, but the comparison I've loved seeing is imagine Pokemon Snap, by way of Jet Set Radio and Neon Genesis Evangelion. If that's pricked your ears up, and hopefully not for how I pronounce Evangelion, if that's wrong I apologise, I hope you'll stick around to hear why I love this game. Right, so those are pretty strong words, yeah? Here's what I think makes this game so special, and I'm sure it's absolutely no surprise, but it's the photography, and the way the medium and its aspects are handled. Starting with the bounties, these play out like short puzzles. The puzzle can range from just finding the subject, to how to shoot it, to the objective's boundaries, to even deciphering the bounties themselves, or maybe finding alternate meanings behind them. The bounties also encourage experimentation with using lenses other than just the standard, helping you get to grips with the nuances and differences between, say, a telephoto lens and a fisheye lens. There's a few issues here. Movement sometimes can feel kinda clunky, and there was a bounty I had some gripes with. The bounty was to find a certain amount of green chem lights, but my colorblindness didn't really help with that. And in a real show of coolness from the dev, they're actually looking to implement options to help with that. Where this game gets really special to me is the fact that no photo really is wasted. Every shot will at least push slightly towards one of your goals and to your betterment. At no point does the game tell you that your photography outright sucks. Instead, it rewards you with monetary goals dependent on the colour, content and composition. Better representation of the three nets you more money per photo. The only thing you're penalised on is including blue bottles in your pictures, which makes sense for the story, but you're not chastised with a game over. It's just pointed out and met with a minor monetary setback. Another aspect that really stands out to me is the level of creative control you have over your photos after they're taken. Once you've taken a photo, you're taken through to a creative suite in which time stops to do some touch-ups and modifications. This to me is huge because the game has a super unique aesthetic, which is something that I feel might get lost when post-processed in a third-party program. Even then, it feels like the game's toolset breaks down a barrier that I fear some people may see in photography, which is the entire back-end touch-up process. Due to the fact that programs like Photoshop or Lightroom just cost stupid money to maintain, and other free programs may just be too obtuse to beginner's eyes. I'm looking directly at you, GNU image manipulation program. Giving people access to different lenses and sliders that can modify exposure, bloom and saturation, and other tools that expand beyond basic color filters normally found in photo modes, all in a game which welcomes experimentation and nurtures it better than a third-party program might, is exactly what I feel in-game photography as a hobby should endorse. Your gradual improvement over time, along with a growing familiarity of your surroundings and your camera, pushes you to want to explore all over the locations to make the most out of them as a photographer. It also pushes you to complete the bonus objectives inside the 10-minute time limit to unlock more equipment and tools to further amplify your creative possibilities. If you can forgive me the comparison, in a weird way, Umurangi Generation kinda pulls a Guillermo del Toro. It wants to invite you into its world and passions, and if you'll allow it, let you get excited by it. There might be eyes in places where you wouldn't expect eyes too, who knows? Speaking of that world, Umurangi Generation's locations, and in turn its narrative, is incredibly strong. Make no doubt about it, this is a shitty future. The environments you visit, from rooftops to outposts to street parties, they all tell a story. That story can range from government disdain and distrust, trauma, conflict, loss and uncertainty, to just trying your best to live and express yourself in what can feel like the end times. Street art, dance parties, and video game advertisements inhabit a world alongside spent shells, candlelit memorials to local heroes, body bags, and newspapers documenting the uncertain times. The environmental narrative across all the zones is strong, but the fact it's down to you to explore and document it is what elevates this game for me. You get given this responsibility in a game that's actively encouraging you to experiment with your styles. You get to tell the stories of these people and become an active part of this world, as both a part of the story and the storyteller. I've actually had a load of fun going back into the game since finishing it and experimenting with the gear I've unlocked to take photos in new ways compared to my initial runs. I know the word unique gets thrown around a hell of a lot, but this game really is quite special. So let's hear it for the Umurangi generation, the last generation who has to see the world die, and a photography game which I absolutely adore. If you're interested in the game, I'll have a link to the Steam store page in the description. As always though, thank you for swinging on by, I hope you're doing okay, don't forget to look after yourself, and hey, I'll see you all again soon.